Hello, everybody. I wanted to quickly show you around my monthly budget template. This is my increasingly becoming one of my most popular budget templates. It's the Excel budget template, and just show you how it works and how easy it is to use so that if you are thinking about purchasing it or if you just want to know a little bit more about it, then hopefully this video will help you out. So I'm just going to give you kind of a little tutorial. So here, of course, is the month. You can double click in the cell to change the name of the month. And I recommend just copying each month into a new tab and then changing it, because that way you can look back on your prior month's budget and see how you did and how that compares to the month that you're currently in and that you're currently budgeting for. So at the top here, we have the budgeted monthly income amounts, and then we have our actual monthly income amounts here. And of course, this is just a dummy budget, so they are exactly the same. And in a perfect world, that is what would happen. But you can see here too that we have budgeted and actual amounts and what the balance of our budget is here. And I made it so that if your balance for your budget is 0 or positive, then it's going to show up here as green. And if it's negative, it's going to show up as red. And the same for the actual amounts here. So you always want your budgeted income less your budgeted expenses to be 0, because that is a $0 budget. That is what we are aiming for when we are budgeting. We want every dollar to be assigned before the month begins. Now, the key is that you update your budget as the month goes. So if things don't go as planned, then you're not stuck at the end, frustrated, wondering what happened, and you feel like throwing in the towel with budgeting. So you want to make sure that you're updating as you go along in this actual column here. So if we expect to have $4,000 of income coming in, but we actually only have $3,000, or halfway through the month you realize you're not going to hit that goal, then you're going to need to adjust your budget. And that's where the Excel budget template comes in really handy, because it's just stored on your computer. It's easily accessible. Many of us do stuff on our computer all the time, every single day. So it's in an easy to find place, and a lot of people just really enjoy that it's digital. So here I have the different budget categories, and you can edit all these and customize all these categories to your liking. I have little envelopes here for categories that are good cash envelope categories, that you would take cash out when you got paid and put them into a cash envelope and use that to curb overspending or to save for a purchase over time. And then here, I have this difference column, and that just shows you the difference between your budgeted amounts and your actual amounts. And then this percent of income column here shows you, and I lock these cells too so that you can't accidentally edit the formula and screw it up somehow. And you can unlock that. There is a passcode on this front page here where you can unlock the budget, the cells that I've locked. But most people are not going to want to do that, because you do not want to overwrite the formulas, and it's easy to do when you're jumping around in a spreadsheet. But basically, this tells you what percent of your income that category is taking up. So you can easily see, if you use the Dave Ramsey budget percentages that I recommend, whether you're falling in line or not with his recommended budget percentages. And then this right here, these totals down at the bottom give you what your total, for instance, this is insurance, what your total insurance category, all these amounts here, what percent of your budget that is. So just a nice little overview that you can see there. And then down here at the bottom, we have our total projected costs and our total actual costs and what the difference was. So you can also, once again, just see briefly for the month where you ended up. Now here on this front page, we have a chart that I created that shows you the difference in your budgeted and actual amounts. And it's just a nice way, because it's in chart format. So it's easy to see, okay, if there's a big gap between the two, what category was it? So I'm a visual person, so I like to see things that way. So if you are as well, then this is a really nice tool here on the first page, this summary sheet. But yeah, basically you would just fill in these amounts every single month, fill in your actual amounts as the month goes, and adjust your budget as the month goes. Make sure that this is always 0. This budget column here is always 0. And then keep an eye on your actual amounts, what actually came in and what actually went out, and how you're doing there. So that's just a brief overview of the spreadsheet. It's simple. It's really good for seasoned budgeters, and then people who are just starting with budgeting as well. So just want to give you guys a brief overview today.